Welcome back to Air Quality Matters and One Take. One Take, my take on a paper or report on air quality, ventilation and the built environment. One Take in that it's, in one take and tries to summarise for you a scientific perspective on something interesting in, usually 10 minutes or less, because who has the time to read all these amazing documents, right? This week, we're diving into a really fascinating paper out of KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Sweden. It is a computational fluid dynamics study, or CFD study, looking at the performance of portable air cleaners on infection risk and draft rates in care homes. Now, let's set the scene a little bit here. If you think back to the height of COVID-19 pandemic, we all know the devastating impact it had. But the elderly population experienced disproportionately higher mortality rates, with care homes reporting significant elevated casualties. In fact, care homes are a really unique built environment because they combine elements of both healthcare facilities and residential buildings. You essentially have vulnerable people living their day-to-day lives in a space that also has to function for medical support and caregiving. And let's face it, the elderly residents in these homes often experience reduced physical mobility. They might have chronic illnesses, and they often spend prolonged periods indoors without the ability to actively control their immediate environment. They are also incredibly sensitive to thermal discomfort, meaning they get cold easily due to compromised thermoregulation. So when we talk about improving air quality in these spaces to protect them from airborne viruses, we often turn to portable air cleaners. They are a promising solution because they're easy to use, they're relatively low cost, and you can just plug them in. But, and this is the really big but, does it matter where you put them in the room? Do you just unbox it, shove it in the corner where the cable reaches the plug, and assume the job is done? And furthermore, if you turn the fan on, is it going to create a cold draft that makes the elderly resident miserable, or worse, turn it off? That is exactly what this paper tries to answer. The researchers used computational fluid dynamics, which are basically a highly advanced computer simulation, to map out the airflow and the invisible virus particles in a typical care room. They set up a virtual room with an elderly person in a nursing bed and a healthcare worker standing nearby. To mimic reality, they made the healthcare worker the source of the infection, exhaling virus particles into the room. Then they took a portable air cleaner and tested it in 9 different locations around the room to see what would happen. They weren't just looking at whether air got cleaner, they also measured the draft rate using established thermal comfort models to see if the air movement would cause local discomfort for the elderly resident. The results are really interesting for anyone working in facilities management or healthcare, I think. First, the good news. When used correctly, the portable air cleaners did exactly what they were supposed to do. In most of the scenarios, the air cleaners significantly reduced the infection risk for the elderly patient, achieving a reduction of somewhere between 75 and 86% compared to having no air cleaner at all. And perhaps just as importantly for comfort, in all the examined scenarios, draft rates remained below the 10% threshold. This means that running an air cleaner didn't create unacceptable cold drafts for the elderly resident, which is brilliant because it means they won't be tempted to just reach over and switch the noisy drafty box off. But here's where we get into the challenges. The researchers found that different placements of the portable air cleaner resulted in a 74% variation in the infection risk. Think about that for a second. The exact same machine in the exact same room with the exact same people, but just moving it a few feet changes infection risk by 74%. In one specific scenario, which they called Case 6, the researchers placed the air cleaner in the corner near the infected healthcare worker. What the simulation showed was pretty horrifying. The airflow discharge from the air cleaner created a strong jet that essentially grabbed the exhale virus particles from the healthcare worker and blew them straight across the room directly into the breathing zone of the elderly patient. In this case, the computed infection risk skyrocketed to 85.9%. The air cleaner didn't just fail to significantly reduce the risk, its improper placement actively facilitated the transport of the virus right to the most vulnerable person in the room. It inadvertently exacerbated the exposure. So, what is the best place to put it? Well, scientifically speaking, placing the portable air cleaner right in the centre of the room led to the lowest infection risk. It created a sort of invisible air barrier between the two people. But, and the authors rightly point this out, placing a box in the dead centre of a care home bedroom is completely impractical due to tripping hazards. We're talking about environments where you have nursing beds, wheelchairs, and elderly residents who might rely on walking sticks and walking frames. Putting a fan in the middle of the floor is a massive safety hazard and quite frankly not going to happen. So we have to find a compromise. The study found that placing the air cleaner closer to the susceptible individual, in this case the elderly resident, generally resulted in low infection risk. It helps to pull the clean air towards them and flush the bad air away. But it really highlights that you can't just guess. What does all this mean for us, the people trying to manage buildings and protect health? For me, the insight here goes well beyond just airflow dynamics. It's about how we deploy technology in the real world. We often treat portable air cleaners as a silver bullet. We buy them, drop them in a room, and tick a compliance box. But this study proves that if we don't understand the environment we're putting them into, we might actually be making the situation worse. The on-demand or plug-and-use nature of these devices means that user, the nurse, the cleaner, the facility manager, plays a critical role in their effective operation. We have to move beyond just procuring equipment. We need to focus on user education. Training and educating for healthcare workers and facility managers is absolutely essential to minimize the unintended consequences associated with using these air cleaners. If a frontline worker doesn't know that putting the air cleaner behind them while they treat the patient might blow their own exhaled breath directly into the patient's face, we have failed them. We need to provide them with clear practical guidance, perhaps even visual maps of rooms showing where the safe and unsafe places are to put these devices. And I think it's also worth remembering that ventilation and air cleaning solutions have to respect the physical realities of the people living with them. The fact that the study explicitly looked at draft rates is highly commendable. It is no good having perfectly clean air if the occupant is freezing cold and miserable, because they would just turn them off. Designing for indoor air quality always has to be a balance between reducing pollutants and maintaining human comfort. So, to round this off, the takeaway from this paper for me is incredibly clear. Portable air cleaners are a fantastic, viable tool for mitigating airborne infection risk in care homes without compromising thermal comfort. They work, but they are not magic boxes. Their strategic placement must be guided by actual knowledge of the room's airflow, not just convenience. We have to stop making assumptions and start treating indoor air quality interventions with the nuance and strategy they deserve. Thanks for listening as always. Always appreciate you tuning in. Please don't forget to check out the sponsors, Safe Traces and Imbiot and Farmwood. Without them, these podcasts simply would not be possible.